Hi everybody, it is Cindy. It is Monday, June 4th, and I'm back to do a Stitch With Me update. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you so much. The piece I am working on today is from the book of Blackbird Designs. It's called Sweet Land of Liberty, and I am working on this piece here. As you can see, that's how much I have done so far. I started that on Saturday evening, and I'm just going to show you the array of colors in the piece. Now this is a mix of DMC and Victoria Modern. It has a very pretty color palette. I hope everybody had an awesome weekend. We celebrated my sister's 50th birthday weekend. We had a great time. Her real birthday isn't until June 17th, but we did it a little bit earlier. My dad and his wife came up from Florida. My two kids from South Carolina came. Her son from West Virginia, he's away at college in West Virginia. He came back. We had it was just a great family celebration. We had pretty good weather on the weekend. I really didn't get too much stitching time in because I was busy doing other things. I did have my sister's dog Moo here. He was here since Thursday, and he keeps me pretty busy, taking him for walks and stuff like that. I did. I worked an hour and a half overtime this morning, and then I took him to the park to walk him before I brought him home, and we had a good time. He was super happy. He was going home, I think, and I told him, "Home? You want to go home?" He was smiling. I mean, this dog really smiles. It's kind of funny. We had a great time though. He always keeps me busy. He's a handful for me though. He's a pretty big dog. He's a medium-sized dog, and he's probably as big as me. So walking him, it's not like I walk the dog. It's like the dog walks me, which is kind of funny. I know Stitch Mania has ended, and it was fun to watch some of the people's progress through Stitch Mania. I have a lot of projects I always do. I don't need to do Stitch Mania too. That would probably stress me out. And I would feel obligated to stitch on things that I probably might not have felt the urge or need to stitch at that time. I just stitch on what I want when I want to. So that's just how I stitch. I mean, some people, they got some good progress though. And I liked seeing how some of the people, you know, do their Stitch Mania. One of my favorites is probably the Primitive Stitcher, Suzette. I like how she does her Stitch Mania. The first Stitch Mania video I ever saw was hers, and that was from last year. And I really like how she does it and goes about it. And she's just a beautiful, sweet woman to watch. I liked watching Dina's Stitch Mania from Half Stitch Cross Stitch this year. She has some beautiful projects going on. I love seeing her update on what she was working on in Stitch Mania. Kitten Stitcher did a little bit of a different Stitch Mania, her and Jen, and I liked seeing her update on her Stitch Mania. She got a lot done, and she's pretty busy. And she put out her video, I think this came out, I don't know if it was yesterday or today, but I did watch it already. She puts out a good, I like how she did her Stitch Mania, a little bit different. Listen, everybody's got a different style and a different way of doing it. You know, of course I like just the regular stitching updates too. That's what I do. I mean, I like those. Some people did Stitch Mania every day with the videos, and I don't have time to watch all of those videos. I mean, kudos to them for doing a video every day, because that does take time, and you know, I work full time. I don't have time to do all of that every day. You know, everybody's in different times in their life, and you know, kudos to them that they could do a video every day. Good for them. But it's exciting to see what people are working on. There's just so many beautiful patterns out there. You all have so much to choose from. So that's what I did this weekend. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Today, here in Tennessee, it really is like a spring day outside. Beautiful weather, not too hot, not humid. It actually cooled off overnight. We've been getting rain every day, probably for the last week and a half. Today, no rain, and we're pretty clear the next several days, so I'm excited about that. Now, a couple of people have asked me, you know, what type of needles that I stitch with, and I really don't have a favorite. I know some people say, how could you not have a favorite, but I don't. I don't have a favorite. I do use Bowen right now, and look up. I use Bowen 26 or 28 usually. I have used John James. I have used Pat's needles. And Pat's needles are definitely way more expensive. I think they're good needles. I don't particularly think they're any better than Bowen. They're good to stitch with though. Listen, I've stitched with needles from sewing cases, sewing kits in a pinch. I'll use those. I just don't want to lose my count here. But I know Pat's needles are good for people who have sensitivities to metals. So I did try them out. I like them. But they really are a lot more expensive. So I do usually purchase the Bowen. And I'm going to tell you a couple of shops that I do shop at. I just didn't want to lose my count there. In no particular order, I would say I probably purchased the most from 123stitch.com, and that's probably because they do have a good variety of linens and Aidas and things to stitch on. Of course, they have all the patterns too. But that's probably why I purchase online from them the most. Now, I personally prefer to purchase from a stitching store, but the closest one for me is about 45 minutes away, and that's Dixie Darling and Pigeon Forge, and they really don't have anything new. I really do prefer going to Sassy Jack's in Asheville, North Carolina. And that's about, I would say, 2 hours and 15 minutes from where I live. But I do like that store. Definitely a much bigger selection. Now the last time I was there, now it's been a while, was the fall. The last time I went there, they didn't have a huge selection of fabrics or linens either, so I'm hoping they had a ton of patterns though, so they really did have a lot as far as patterns and things like that. So I'm hoping my next trip there, they will have a bigger selection of the linens, Aidas, and fabrics, you know, things to stitch on. There's nothing like seeing it and touching it in person, and you can't get that from online. It's just something that I do prefer purchasing in person. And plus those that are close to like Picture This Plus and things like that. I mean, they really get a good selection. And plus, anybody who's close to one of those awesome stitching stores, you know, if you have that in your backyard, you're so blessed in my book. I mean, I'm a big stitcher, so I wish I had that by me. And when I moved to Knoxville about 5 years ago, there were a couple of cross-stitch stores here, and they're no longer here. They went out of business, and that's just a sad thing, you know, to see them go out of business. But you know, online does good, you know, for, you know, what we need sometimes. You know, you just have to purchase online. The next place that I do like to purchase from, and they always have super awesome service, that is the Silver Needle. Now they sell all kinds of kits and monthly clubs, and you could get put on auto delivery, and I found they do their auto delivery the best. I tried to do auto delivery from another shop, and they said it was auto delivery, but then I still had to go in and choose it every month. To me, that's not auto delivery. Auto delivery means they just ship it to you every month when you get it in, and that's where I did my hands-on designs releases on her White Christmas series. I'm on the auto delivery, and that's why I got the second set right away in the mail, and they just shipped them out, charged me. It was awesome. Also with the Silver Needle, I did purchase a couple of Blackbird design books, and one of them was on back order. They actually called me and said, we're going to wait to send out your whole package right away. You know, I was working, and I just said, you know, if you need anything, just give me a call. They actually left me a message, but I have had them call me when I've been off, and they'll let me know exactly what's going on. To me, that is excellent customer service. They let you know what's going on with your order. If you don't have it in stock, I'm fine with that. Listen, it's not like I don't have anything to stitch. But they do let you know what's going on with your order, and to me, that's just a great thing to have. So I do like the Silver Needle. You can find that at lion@thesilverneedle.com. The next place that I do like purchasing from is Stitch and Frog. Marty has also excellent service. If you ever send her an email, she gets back to your email like right away. It's not days. Like, she'll do it almost as immediately as she gets the email. When I purchased all of my market releases, I purchased them from Stitch and Frog. I placed the order before she went to market. When she came back, you know, she shipped it really pretty quick, and I know they had tons of orders from market this year, but she let me know when it was coming, and you know, everything was in the order, it was properly packaged, and I really did like her service. Now, she does have discounts on her patterns, 10 and 20% off some patterns, so I think it's Little House Needlework. She's given 20% off of their patterns for the full year. So if you really like those patterns, I would definitely recommend going to her site. You know, if you could save 20%, that's a pretty big discount. She has good shipping. She sells Pat's Needles. She sells other things. So I do like her also. The next one that I purchased online from is Down Sunshine Lane. And I do realize that a lot of people know these, but if someone's new to stitching or new to Flosstube, they might not know this, so I never assume somebody knows that. Down Sunshine Lane has a pretty good website. She has excellent service also. Shipping is super, super quick from her. She carries, I think, the more popular designs. She doesn't It's not like a huge selection, but she has excellent service. Anything new or released, so she's definitely going to be carrying it. So I do like Down Sunshine Lane also. Now, I do have a couple of online stores that I purchased from that I would recommend. And I've had, like I said, everything I'm recommending I've always had good service for. If I had a place where I didn't have good service or something happened, I'm not going to be recommending them. So this is just who I prefer to use. Online, on Etsy, I've purchased from Jen's Stitching Niche a couple of times. She has really quick shipping. She always includes like a free pattern or a skein of floss or something. I mean, she's super generous, super nice. That is Kitten Stitcher's friend. And, you know, Jen has Flosstube. And I like buying from her. You know, she has a lot of fabrics. And she also carries a lot of patterns also. Yeah, so Jennifer has really good service too. So I would definitely recommend her. She has a lot of primitive designs, if you like that, but she carries everything else too. So, and sometimes she'll carry, you know, certain kits or things like that from different people. So I would definitely check her out. The next one, Etsy shop. Now, some of these designers do have Etsy shops, and I do like purchasing directly from a designer if I can. I think that is a good support of designers, but their patterns are definitely sold in stores also. So the first one is Lila's Studio, and I actually just stitched in the garden from her, but you could buy her patterns directly on Etsy. The next one that I did discover that you could buy right on Etsy is Heartstring samplery. Beth is the designer, and she does good shipping too. I've ordered from her several times. She has very cute envelopes and things like that. So I do like hers. And as far as trims and chenille and baby pom-poms, Lady Dot Creations has an Etsy shop that you could buy them right directly from her on Etsy. So I definitely, you know, like buying directly from her. And those are just some of the places that I purchase from. They are the places that I purchase from the most. If I get patterns and things that I cannot find, eBay has everything. I don't have Facebook, so I don't do Stash Unload. I know a lot of people do that, but that's not something I participate in because I don't have Facebook. But I do find, you can find anything you ever want on eBay. Just check, you know, I always check feedback and things first before I purchase from someone I don't know. I actually have my eBay account since eBay started, so it's over 20 years. It's hard to believe it's over 20 years, but it is. I never had a bad experience with eBay. Just always a positive outcome, and I'm sure if something ever happened, you know, if you're using your PayPal account, there is a process to dispute something or something like that. But typically when you send something back, and which is very rare for me, but if it comes damaged, you know, I'm not going to keep it. But those are just some of the places I purchase from. I hope, you know, that helps somebody if you're looking to make, you you know, some cross-stitch purchases. We all don't have a local needle shop close to us, so we wish we all did. And, you know, I really hope to see this hobby grow with the younger generation. They are so connected to the cell phones and computers, and it's really not a healthy thing for anybody. But doing needle and thread and just sitting and relaxing and either listening to a podcast or, you know, watching YouTube, you know, Flosstube videos and stitching along with someone or seeing what somebody's projects are. I really don't watch regular TV. I'm sure I've said that before. I just really watch Flosstube, and I do, you know, have a couple of podcasts that I listen to. I know a lot of people use Audible for books. I don't use Audible because it's something you have to purchase, and there's so much stuff that I could listen to or watch that's for free. So I do try and watch, you know, my budget a little bit. I pay my own bills, so, you know, I don't need something else to purchase. If I could get something for free and more than enough entertainment for me. And Fiber Talk puts out, you know, their weekly podcast, Gary and Christina, and I love listening to them. And they have 2 a week, you know, their midweek session, and I enjoy that. That doesn't cost you anything, and they do a great job. I really appreciate that they take the time to do that, and they talk, you know, to different designers and things like that. So that's something that is for free that I would recommend. There might be a couple of things on Netflix that I will watch, you know, series and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't watch TV. I don't pay cable. I don't have a cable bill. I get that through my Wi-Fi. And Netflix is like $12 a month, so that's all I pay there. I have Wi-Fi already, so that's just me. I don't really watch regular TV, and I know everybody is different, which is not a bad thing. It would be pretty boring if we were all the same. We all have different opinions and like different things, and variety is a good thing. So those are just some of the things I do, and like I said, I hope that's helpful for someone. I was out in the garden early yesterday morning before we all went back to my sister's, and actually had my son help me transplant one of my aloe plants because it was like a monster. It was overgrown, and we actually went to Home Depot to get some more stakes, and he actually bought some flowers to plant in a planter himself, and we planted and did that here, and he just brought it home with him. So he helps me, I help him. He's a great help to have around. And he enjoys it. He was watching me in the garden. I was explaining, you know, what different things were, and, you know, different things that I planted. And I did purchase and plant some more flowers yesterday. I did plant my zinnias. I bought a couple more packets. I can't even think of what I planted. But I plant throughout the season. I don't plant just once. And I plant throughout the season. So things will bloom throughout the season in the garden. And the cucumbers are getting really, they're viney. So I had to buy more stakes and stuff to support those. And that's what we were doing yesterday. So I put those in. They're getting really big. The tomato plants already have baby tomatoes on them. It's amazing. The beets are huge. The leaves are huge. And a couple more weeks, I'll pull one and see how big they are. They get pretty big. And I do eat the leaves from the beets. They are super, super healthy for you. I saute them with a little garlic and a little bit of olive oil. They're super good. I do love my beet greens. They're good for you. My first lettuces are almost gone, and I did plant 3 different sets of other lettuces, so those will be, they're already starting to come up a little bit. So I don't plant those all at once because I'm only one person. I cannot eat all that lettuce, and I'm actually at my sister's party, and 2 days in a row I bought over a huge salad each day, and that was fresh from the garden salad with fresh spinach. I mean, it's just so good, and I enjoy sharing that and, you know, giving that to the family. The sunflowers are huge. They're bigger than me already, and they haven't bloomed yet. At the end of this video, I'm gonna include a small clip just of the front garden with the flowers, because some of the flowers bloomed already, and there is a special treat there. I was showing the bee balm, and a beautiful orange butterfly was on it, so I was able actually to capture that on video, which was kind of cool. So you get a special treat seeing a beautiful butterfly on the bee balm. The butterfly came back on it again once I was videoing it. I must have liked that bee balm, and super cool that I caught it on camera. And that is it for today. I do gonna stop stitching right now, and I do have something special that I'm going to be sharing with my Stitch With Me viewers. I bought 2 of these. It's called Bee Sampler, and this is from Lila's Studio. And I purchased 2 of them, and I do want to pass this pattern along to someone else. So if you are interested in this pattern, just put Bee Sampler in the comments below, and this coming Sunday I'm going to draw the winner. And I wanted something special for the Stitch With Me people who sit and stitch with me, and I just want to share that with something else. I think this is a beautiful pattern, and I would love to send the second copy off to someone else. So if you're interested, just say Bee Sampler at the bottom below in the comments section. I am going to include a quick slideshow of the garden. I hope everybody has an awesome, blessed week, and thank you for joining me. Bye-bye. Happy stitching. Hi everyone, it's Cindy. It is Monday, June 4th, and I'm going to give you an update of the garden. I'm standing in front of my house so you can see the full length of the garden. I'm going to bring you in up to the right side first. This is right next to the driveway, and as you can see, the silver plants are starting to bloom, and it's getting the yellow flowers on it. I bought my bunny up front. I had him in the back for over a year, but I like him up front in the garden. The nasturtiums are getting really big, and the yellow flowers bloomed. I'm going to bring you in closer. Here is a close-up of the yellow flowers, and you can see the bunnies right there. In back of the bunnies, you can see these are the sunflowers. They're getting really tall. They're taller than me now, and they'll start to bloom soon. And I'm going to take you to the middle of the garden. In the middle of the garden, I got this huge bush of flowers, and I'm going to bring you in close so you can see them. They're all starting to bloom. They're red and they're beautiful, and you can see the sunflowers back on the right there. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, do you see the bee balm? There's a butterfly on the bee balm. Let me see if I can get in close. Look at the beautiful butterfly. How cool was that? Butterfly likes the bee balm. Look how pretty that is. He's coming back. I think he liked the bee balm. And back of that, I got the big sunflowers. As you can see, I'm in back of it now. That butterfly keeps coming back. Look, there it is. It landed again. It really likes the bee balm. Let's see if we could get in a little bit closer there. Look, orange. Beautiful. And those are the sunflowers in back of the bee balm. Over here, this big, tall plant is going to start blooming flowers soon. And I'm going to take you to the left side of the garden. This is the left side of the house, and this is the left garden that I planted pretty much this year. There wasn't too much in it before. A couple of rose bushes, a couple of azalea bushes, but that was it. And as you can see, the flowers are blooming. This is the balloon flower. It says sentimental blue, but they are purple. Back here, we got all kinds of wild perennials growing. I got a couple of sunflowers growing. Down here we have the Arizona sun. Now this all filled in really well. The marigolds are starting to grow. There's a marigold right there. Spin top reds, they're still blooming. That's my big azalea bush. And back there all the way down. So as you can see, this is from the left side of the house all the way down to the driveway. That is the front garden update. How nice was that butterfly to visit? Have a great day, everyone.